The West Indies will need to win their remaining 4 matches in the World Cup qualifiers to assure of going to the World Cup. Should they win 3 matches and lose one, it will depend on results going in their favor for them to make it. In other words, they will have to depend on teams like Scotland and Oman to beat teams like Zimbabwe. If we should lose 2 of these remaining matches, we will be out of the World Cup. That's how alarming the defeat to Zimbabwe is yesterday. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in. Please slash a like on the video and click on that subscribe button. I'm a few minutes late, but I wanted to ensure that I get a portion of the interview that Darren Sammy did yesterday at the post-match press conference. In about another 15 minutes, Darren Sammy and Cricket West Indies will be holding a media conference. That's 10 a.m. Jamaica time. But yesterday, speaking at the post-match press conference, which I have posted the interview, the press conference on the homepage, and you can have a listen to the entire press conference. But he said some things yesterday in that press conference that impresses me a lot. I just want us to take a listen to this first portion here by Darren Sammy. Here's Darren Sammy, what he's saying here.
And I keep telling him that who wants to a ticket, they're going to come and buy that ticket. And at the moment, some of us get for that train to move on. I think we lost the game today. Zimbabwe.
Listen then.
The train that I've started here is going to be moving. And I keep telling them that who wants to a ticket, they're going to come and buy it at the ticket office. And at the moment, some of us are not buying that ticket for that train to move on.
You heard that? The train that he has started here is moving. And at the moment, some of them are not buying their ticket for that train to move on. For the first time since I have been following West Indies cricket, over 50 years ago or over 40 plus years ago, is the first time I've ever heard a West Indies coach came out and practically telling the players that you are not cutting it, telling the players in public. Maybe they would have done these things in the dressing room before, but it's the first time in the history of West Indies cricket that I heard it publicly, that a coach saying to the players, it's a privilege to play for the West Indies. It is not a right to play for the West Indies. And Cricket West Indies have given you that privilege and you have marketed yourself. And most of you have become rich due to the opportunity that Cricket West Indies provided for you. So where's the pride? Where is the responsibility that you have to show when you are representing the West Indies? I have started a train here and the train started moving. And one of the characteristics of every good coach is that they need to be ruthless. And I got a hint of Darren Sammy just now being ruthless. He's saying that the train is going to move. And if you want to be on this train, you have to buy your ticket. It will be very interesting to see the next squad, ODI squad or T20 squad, that West Indies select when Darren Sammy will have an input into selecting those squads. Markian, may I remind you that Darren Sammy did not have any input in selecting this squad. Whether you agree with his appointment to head coach or not, I have always said support the coach because he's the one in the position. And I feel very good when I heard these words coming from Darren Sammy. He went on to say something further at the end of the interview, which I'm also very, very impressed with. Here's what Darren Sammy has to say towards the end of that interview.
We could have restricted them to under 200, but we are. When I took this job, I wanted to change a couple of things, mindset. That's slowly getting there, but mindset, preparation, performance, all these things have to come, on a consistent basis, and that's what we're trying to work on. We'll now have to look at personnel as well. So, yeah.
That was very heartwarming. We now have to look at what? Personnel. We have to look at players. We now have to look at players. It is time that some players be cut off. It is time there's no longer a revolving door for some of these players in West Indies cricket. It is time now that the door, some of them be pushed out of that door and the door is permanently slammed behind them. And Darren Sammy, I am very impressed. Watch the interview, it's on the home page. I'm very interested in those things, two things in particular. We have to look at personnel, and the train is moving, and some of them doesn't appear that they are buying tickets to be on this train. Well said, Sammy. I only hope now that you will put your words into action, because certainly some of them need to push off this train, because these players, they continue to throw the coaches under the bus, or in this case, under the train. They continue to derail the train of Cricket West Indies. They continue, and it is time for somebody push them off the train and close that door. Some of these players must go. Well said, Darren Sammy. I appreciate it. Now, Cricket West Indies have given these players opportunity. And Cricket West Indies is paying these players good money. Mark you, these players make more money playing franchise cricket all over the world. But the facts remain that Cricket West Indies is one of the highest paying cricket board in the world. Now, in our next match, we will be playing against the Netherlands. And I soon come to your comment. I just want to finish up this point before I come to your comment. In the next match, we will be playing against the Netherlands. Remember that Netherlands is one of the teams in the Super League table. They were one of the teams who we have to play in the World Cup qualifiers before this final stage. They were one of the 13 teams that we played in the Super League. I want to tell you that 5 of the pace bowlers, do you remember last year when Netherlands beat South Africa in that T20 match in Australia? 5 of those, the 5 bowlers who bowled those 20 overs for the Netherlands, Fred Klaassen, Paul van Merken, Colin Ackerman, Roelof van der Merwe, and Brandon Clover. Those were the 5 bowlers that bowled 20 overs against South Africa when the Netherlands beat them in that World Cup qualifier. Not in that World Cup qualifier, in that T20 World Cup match last year that knocked South Africa out of the World Cup. None of them will be in the Netherlands team tomorrow. Not one of them, including the other 2 seamers that were in that tour party, Shane Santner and Tim van der Goten. None of those 7 bowlers that were at the T20 World Cup with the Netherlands will be in Zimbabwe to play against the West Indies yesterday. And this is the reason why. According to Van der Merken, it is pretty simple, say Van der Merken. At the end of the day, the question I ask myself, who is going to pay my bills? And the answer is county cricket. That is what put bread on the table. These guys from the Netherlands, they have chosen to play county cricket, and in the T20 blast that is taking place in India, in England, instead of representing their country at the World Cup. So it is because that the Netherlands are not paying their cricketers as much as West Indies playing their cricketers why these guys have made that decision. So it is very important that these cricketers realize that playing for West Indies is indeed a privilege and it has made them rich, and they should show some pride and represent us with that pride and put their best effort forward. As I said, the press conference is coming up at 10 o'clock. So I'm going to be here for a very short time, but I'm going to go through your comments quickly before I put my team on the screen. I apologize for being late. As I said, it was doing. I want to ensure that I get that interview for us to hear. So it's very important. John P. Nichols, good morning. How are you? West Indies will only make it to the World Cup when the correct team is selected. Okay, well noted. What is the correct team? There's no such thing because it's all relative. So Winston, so good. It's nice to see that Winston and John P is getting on. Good morning, the Cricket Forum. I hope you recover from that debacle yesterday. I went and played a match. My team lost. I don't remember how many runs I made, but I knew I was not out. I came not out. I batted out the last few overs, played some shots. I think we made 126, and the other team knocked it off. So I did play a match yesterday, and maybe that's one of the reasons too why I'm late, because I woke up a little late in preparing for this broadcast. Thank you, Winston King. Gaylord, I hope you had a happy birthday yesterday. I really hope that defeat didn't spoil your birthday. So Gaylord, happy belated birthday to you. I did say happy birthday to you. I hope you had a good one yesterday. One love, Gaylord. John P, you are now okay. So the argument is going on. Our original young Maxam, how are you? Good morning. Good morning, young Maxam. Original Sam, you are Sam. Let's hear. Good morning. I think Sam is right. I also think that is right. You can listen to the entire interview on the homepage. I think I'm talking a little too fast today. I think because the press conference is coming up, I'm a bit rushed. Glenn Sinclair, welcome to the show. Nice to see you here. I like Sammy's attitude. Big up yourself. Thank you very much, Glenn Sinclair. He spoke facts. Well done. Thank you for that comment. Kirk Ahmed. Good morning, Mr. Cricket Forum. The next game, Brooks in, Charles out, and Powell and Shepherd in. I don't care that Powell is vice captain. Kirk Ahmed, I'm going to put my team on the screen shortly, and you will see that I do not have Powell in my team. So many players will want to play for the West Indies. This group takes this tournament serious in every aspect of their game. And okay, that can work both ways, especially how he got a job he was not qualified for. What if, well, Sheldon, this is another discussion that we can get into, but I have always said on many occasions, and I will stick by this, I would not have selected Sammy if I was a president of Cricket West Indies. But I also know that if you're a leader, like Dr. Shallow is, I also know that if you're a CEO of a company, I also know that if you're the president of a country or the prime minister of a country, and you have an important job, I also know that you should get the person that you want. So I'm going to back the decision unless it fails. But I will back the decision, Sheldon Simmons. It is only fair and correct that the president gets the person he wants. I would not have selected him, and I make that clear. But I also back in the president for getting the person that he wants. I think that all things should be done. You, Sheldon, would not want to be president of Cricket West Indies, and the person you want to be the coach, you cannot get them. Immediately, anything goes wrong, you are going to say, I did not get the person that I want. So I would not have selected him, but the president should get the person that he wants. That's how I see it. I have no doubt about it. Sunil Kumar Singh, I told you, Sir, Charles and Powell are not one-day batsmen. So many bits and pieces, only one real fast bowler. And you're correct about that fast bowler. Yeah, Sunil, you're correct, Sunil. Very good points you're making. Now, I'm going to go to my team, because as I said, this press conference with Darren Sammy would have already started. Please slash a like on the video, click on that subscribe button, and I will upload that press conference as soon as I get it. I'm very sorry that I'm in such a big rush this morning. I hope you understand, but maybe the defeat yesterday, the match that I played, I woke up late, and I also wanted to get that little bit of the press conference. And so this is my 11 for the game tomorrow. King and Mayers will retain their place. Brooks will come in for Charles. Now, I know that Charles made 54 against the United States, and leading up to the match against Zimbabwe, I defended his position in the team. I can no longer defend that position because, to be honest, he really looked at C in the last 2 matches. I consider him batting him where I put Shepherd in, but then I say I will go with Shepherd. So that I will be making 2 changes. I cannot drop Kimo Paul, although the shot that he played yesterday was atrocious. But Joseph have gotten 6 wickets so far in the tournament, and Kimo Paul have gotten 5, which made them our 2 leading bowlers. And in truth and honesty, Kimo Paul should not have been batting yesterday. The top batsman should have made that score and have made it comfortable, as you heard Darren Sammy said in that interview. So my 11 for tomorrow morning's match, and I hope that by this time tomorrow morning we'll be celebrating and taking 2 points over to the Super 6 stage of the tournament. King, Myers, Brooks at 3, Hope, remain where we are, Pooran, Chase, Ola, Shepherd, Paul, Hussein, and Joseph. That would be my 11. Let me see the comments if you have your 11 there. Call, he says, just you need batsmen who are happy to make 25 out of 50 balls and later he compensate, rather who hit 2 sixes and get out. So there is Sunil Kumar putting forward his point, and all points are welcome. Hello, sir, from Sydney. Thank you, Ali Harper. Please share the channel with your friend and ask them to subscribe. Ali Archer, how are you? To be honest, it's really disappointing performance from the West Indies yesterday. It was. You reckon this is all happening because all the focus is on this shorter format. Yes, a number of persons are saying that we need these players to play the longer format, including the coach, including the assistant coach, including the head of cricket West Indies. We all think that these players should be playing the longer format. Thank you for your comment. As I said, share the channel with your friend. I saw we're in Australia. The last time I checked, Australia women were 233, so that they were leading by about 240 in the Ashes in the second session of the final day. Let's see what will happen in the remainder of that match. Good luck, and I wish you all the best of luck in that match. Sunny. Mayers was highest run scorer, but he was more responsible for yesterday's destruction. Since 1 second, he should have continued. Only 35 runs was the margin. Very good point there, Sunny. I share that point. I cannot say anything about that big point you made. Lovely point. Please smash a like on the video, click on this subscribe button, and share the channel with your friend. Have a good day, everyone. And as soon as the press conference is finished and it is released to the media, I will upload it on this channel for you all to hear what he said. But check out his post-match press conference yesterday. Made for very interesting viewing. One love, everyone. I'm going to be live streaming also a match later. I will be going to an SDC social development match, the finals of the St. Elizabeth leg, which will be played at Manly on, and I'll be there live streaming it. So see you. If you are nearby, drop in and come and let us discuss this topic that we have just now concluded. One love, everyone. Have a great day. God bless.